Hello and welcome to the Talk Football podcast. It is season 5, episode 1, and we're going to be talking all about Derby County. I have with me Mr. Adam James and his son Kieran James, and we're going to be talking everything Derby. Now, first of all, before the guys come in and speak, let me just apologise because we never really finished off season 4. Season 4 was supposed to finish off with the documentary, which I'm still making. That will come. So that would have been so now. The Southampton pod I did with Simon, that is now season 4's finale. So if you missed that, go back and watch it. It was a great pod, and we touched on mental health, and that's what we'll be talking about on the documentary when I finally get it finished and up. But today, this is it. Football's back, new season. We're talking Derby County, EFL, and so welcome to the pod, guys.
Cheers, Oji.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, looking forward to the season now. Derby in the Championship again.
I mean, do you know what? It's so good to have football back, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
You know,
it was so boring, but I think it helped that we had the Euros in between.
Yeah, and
I quite like that.
The Euros, and obviously we had a little bit of football in the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
But nothing really. I mean, international football bores me a little bit, to be honest. But it's nothing like having your proper, you know, your week by week football back.
Yeah.
And I could think of no better place really to start than obviously covering a bit about Derby. Obviously, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Derby County as I go up there relatively regular. And then when I do go up there, hopefully when I'm up, we try and time it so I can catch a game at Pride Park because I love the stadium, I love the club. And obviously last season was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
this behind here was from
Bolton.
From the Bolton game just before when we was fighting with Bolton for the place. Second
1-0 win with Wilson header.
Yeah, Wilson header, amazing.
I'll switch my fan off there just in case anyone here is wondering why.
Yes, and also Hodge, I have been going to the local team, which is up the road from me, Mikolova Sports.
Yes, and I actually need to reconnect with the Mikolova owner, Don Amott, because I did arrange it for we're going to get him on the pod. And yet again, as part of this season 5, I want to be covering more stuff that's outside the Premier League as well. So there's someone I've made acquaintances with on social media, a guy called Terence Cavallo, massive Pompey fan, and obviously that we had Simon on, who is a Saints fan, and obviously the rivalry between Pompey and Saints, etc. So he's going to hopefully we're going to get on. I'm also going to be covering a lot of women's football as well because I'm going to start taking my daughter back to watching Chelsea ladies at Kings Meadow, and we've had some exciting signings at Chelsea as well. Most notably, obviously Lucy Bronze, which is amazing for the club. And I've got 2 very special young ladies, Caitlin and Georgia, that are going to be coming on to talk about. They've got big followings themselves on social media, and they do a lot of stuff about particularly WSL and women's football in general, and that's something we're going to try and cover a lot more throughout this season 5. But today it's all about Derby, and great start today. Obviously, we'll talk about the victory anyway today. So,
and it's nice to have a youngster on, be my son.
Well,
the team he loves the most,
and he's Derby mad. As you can see on his handle there on the screen, he does actually have his own TikTok channel, which is dedicated to everything Derby wise. So, and you want to catch up with what's going on at Derby County, you need to give Kieran a follow on DCFC News on TikTok, because he'll post all the little clippets and everything you want to know to keep in touch with sign-ins, results, etc. And anything that he posts is obviously all pretty much related towards Derby. So that's great stuff. It's all Derby.
All football.
Make sure football. He's football mad. He's an up and coming young goalkeeper. And Adam's phone's just come off, and I'm betting I know who that is. That'll be Cara, the daughter. So what I'll do, while Adam has a quick chat with his daughter and the dog, I'm going to talk to Kieran. I'm going to talk to him about last season's experience and obviously being at that promotion game. So for you as a young man, I mean, that must create amazing memories.
It was just amazing in general. Just being there.
Well, I mean, obviously, I kept in touch with you guys throughout the game, and there was pictures that they sent me of Kieran on his knees. He was kissing the pitch. What was that feeling like when all the fans like just like invading onto the pitch. You must have been absolutely buzzing.
It was exciting, but also scary at the same time. So those fans just run at you and
yeah, I've experienced it. And funny enough, a similar kind of age to yourself was one of my first games at Chelsea, and everyone like steamed onto the pitch. It's like you say, it's scary, but at the same time, you're so like elated and happy.
Yeah, you're just so excited, and you run around like speaking to fans and come on Derby and all that. And it's just amazing. It's just a weird feeling being back in the Championship and after 2 seasons getting promoted.
And of course, it was a tough time. That the club very, very nearly going out of business, and local owners obviously buying the club and saving it.
Yep.
It's incredible. And for you, obviously, such a young fan to experience so much with the club already. I mean, I can't see that you're ever going to want to change your affiliations to any other club. You're Derby through and through now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born and bred in Stoke, he was.
So obviously, you was at the game with your dad and your sister and that as well. So I mean, as a family, to share those moments, that just must have been absolutely incredible.
It was mental. Best day of my life, that was. And to have memories with my 2 children growing up,
this is
crazy.
It's
and to see my daughter rip nearly the whole pitch up with her hands,
that was
get
funny.
a piece of grass, which had to sit in my windowsill in the kitchen for about 2 months.
My personal choice.
You should have planted it in the garden.
No, it started to die, so I had to put it in the garden. It's in the garden now. It's in my front patch at the front.
So there's a bit of Pride Park growing in the back of in the back of the
Pride Patch, I call it.
Pride Patch and
Pride Patch.
Right, so let's move on to obviously the current season, and we'll talk a bit about that because it's going to be tough. There's no bones about it. When you get promoted, and you sometimes you can have that thing where you come up on a bit of a crest of a wave, and you take that that momentum and you run with it, and you can propel yourself. And sometimes, like we saw with Ipswich, they had that momentum, and then they've ended up in the Premier League, consecutive promotions. So I mean, that's got to be something. That would obviously be the dream. Reality obviously will probably be a bit tougher.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I think at the promotion we got the buzz. I think now we're up for it more than ever. And being in administration, etc., could have been the icing on the cake to try and make us more prouder than we already are. And David Clowes, mate, honestly, if he does listen to this and does hear it, I can't thank that guy enough for helping that club.
Well, you need to share it to him.
Yeah, it's where we are. Well, yeah. Sure, I don't know if he's on Twitter. I'm not sure.
You have a look. I mean, the club will be anyway, so obviously you can share the live replay.
I have tagged Derby County in this.
I have as well in all the posts I've done today leading up to it as well. So
yes,
yeah, that's incredible. Right, so I mean, obviously first game of the season, tough game.
Oh, very tough. We got absolutely trounced on by Blackburn Rovers.
Which is really weird because if that game would have been a week later, they wouldn't have had that striker.
Because he's gone there. He came off the bench though. That's the best thing about it. He came off the bench and absolutely killed us.
Yeah,
which
just the justice light.
To be honest, it's a great signing for. I can't remember where he's gone now, but I know he's gone Ipswich. Oh, Premier League. There you go. Says it all, doesn't it?
And
if they've signed a championship player for that league, and I think they lost today, didn't they? As well. Ipswich.
2-0.
Yeah, they got beat by Liverpool.
Yeah, but so it was a very tough game. We didn't play very well at all. We played awful.
It was decent. First half we got absolutely thrashed, but we did sort of get that little bit of hope when that first goal went in for us, and then second half we pushed at it more than ever, and then that striker obviously came on and just weighed us down the most, and then we just gave up in the end.
I think obviously. When you're pushing like that, you're going to leave yourself open to the counters and that. But I don't actually mind the fact that the manager in that sort of situation goes for it, because if you're going to lose, you might as well go for it. Have a chance of getting back in the game. If you get bad, you get battered. But at least you've had a go. That's the main thing.
And there's one thing I like as well that Warren's done. There's a graduate that's come from the youth team, went out on loan to Gateshead last season. He's giving him a chance. Yeah, he's on the bench, but he's still giving him game time.
It's always nice to see
in a tough league as well, Championship.
Yeah, it is.
You can't say it's easy league. It's tough.
For me, it's one of the best divisions in Europe by far.
Yeah, it's like he played he played 3 friendlies and he played 69 minutes under his belt. So, and obviously he did come on against Blackburn, which we was already over by the time he come on. But I'm liking him. I'm liking Dejan Brown, his name is, for anyone that's watching or listening.
And obviously, you had an EFL between the 2 league games. You had the EFL Cup game as well.
Yeah, Chesterfield. Yeah,
it was all right. We didn't watch that though, did we? Because we were at Mickleover.
Yeah, it was at the Mickleover at the time, but they got the result. I did watch the highlights, and I've seen a lot of comments saying that they weren't great, but we pulled through and got a 2-1 win. But
then off the back of those 2 difficult performances, that then gave you the groundwork of how you want to get playing. And I managed to catch the last 20 minutes of the game today. And for me, the defence and the goalkeeper were superb today, because Borough, I mean, they really could not throw anything. I don't know, you were slating Vickers midweek and that.
That's why I'm laughing.
And you picked up a new goalkeeper as well anyway. And we'll talk about that in the signings. But yeah, you picked up a new goalkeeper, and obviously you get Vickers a bit of a hammering after those first couple of games of the season.
Yeah, and he's played an absolute blinder today. He's been unreal today.
I mean, that's safe from
he's got competition now, so I think
it'll push
that's the reason. Yeah, it's got competition.
Well, that's what you want in the squad anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
Credits to Warren though. He did, once we scored that goal and he saw Middlesbrough pushing even more and they were getting closer. He did, when we had like a little moment, he called all the players to the sideline, spoke to him, and changed the whole formation, made them all go to the back, and they couldn't get past us. And then
we went 5 at the back in the end, didn't he? Yeah. Went 5 at the back in the end, and it stopped Middlesbrough getting through. Which that's what
and you still were quite dangerous on the counter attack yourself.
Yeah.
As well.
Caden Jackson, mate, love him.
Yeah, could have finished a couple of goals at the end there as well. But great victory against a very good Middlesbrough. I mean, I fully expect Middlesbrough to be up and around the playoffs, if not pushing for automatic promotion. I think they're a very good team.
Well, speaking of that, you're saying they're a good team. The smash Leeds before in the cup. 3-0.
I mean, I know
here we go. We're going to get battered.
You said that. You said that midweek. You said you thought you were going to get battered, given what you'd seen. But I did say. I thought you played well, and I did say I thought you'd do all right today. And
I've noticed as well, they learned from the mistakes from the last 2 games. They learned from it, and that's what I like to see. And that they actually listen to Warren.
You just want to see the progression. That's the thing. Come off that momentum of last season and keep that progression.
The one thing that I'm worried about the defence, we don't have much great defenders as it is, and Cashin got injured today. We don't know what it was or how long he'll be out for, but he looked all right and he wanted to be determined to be back on the pitch and playing, but it's just precautions. And
well, there you go. Anyone that's watching this now, when you want to know when that player is going to be back and fit, make sure you follow Kieran's channel, because he'll have the news. He'll get it direct from the Derby website, and he'll get it up on his channel. Well, let's talk about your signings, because obviously when you come up, you're always going to need to strengthen the squad. Players coming and going, end of contracts, etc. So we'll go through. Normally we'll go through the players you bought in, but I think what we'll do, we'll start with the players that have gone.
Do the out first,
because there's some notable names there of players that have moved on. Some experience.
There's a couple there that I didn't think would go. Personally.
So we'll start, one of them for me.
We'll start with Hourihan. I mean, obviously he's gone to Barnsley, but as a player coach,
which is understandable. He wants to do.
He was old and
his career now.
He was old and he wasn't going to play at Derby in the Championship. Let's be real.
No, and he's done it. At the end of the day, he's done a job for you. Help you get promoted.
Oh yeah, he got promoted, and that's the main thing. That's what he actually said. Where he says, "I'm glad I did what I came to the club to do, was to get them promoted back to the Championship where they belong." That was his exact words.
You got Sibley and Wildsmith, 2 younger players.
Sibley, I didn't think he would.
You thought he would maybe sign a new deal and go?
That was a bit of a shock. That was when he went to Oxford. I thought
he just wasn't giving in.
I mean, obviously, when you join a club on a free, you tend to probably going to get a better deal in terms of wages. So maybe that's what
I think it was wages, and I think it was playtime because he was on the bench a lot last season, and he was being put at right back, which I don't think he liked.
No,
but we had no choice because obviously we couldn't sign many people.
Jason Knight gone and all that, so
yeah.
And then obviously Wildsmith as well.
Yeah,
gutted, absolutely gutted. My favourite player gone, and
Wildsmith, and we actually tapped him on the back, didn't we, at the promotion game?
I spoke to him.
I went, "Oh, sorry, mate," because he's coming past me. He tapped me on the back.
Wildsmith, hello.
And another one, Max Bird.
Yeah,
he was going anyway.
He's gone to Bristol City
on loan though.
And then you've got obviously a couple of experienced forwards in Waghorn and Dwight Gow as well.
Yeah, they were both going anyway. We knew that.
I knew Waghorn probably go. He'd probably retire now. I would have thought. I don't think he'll be continuing anymore. Gale maybe because of injuries. Maybe he might retire. I don't know.
Gale might go to like a national.
But even if he goes
side.
to like National League or League Two, you know what I mean? Still good players.
Still got goals. Still do the job. Still a good player. Still good finisher. Scott.
And here's another one. Corey Smith. That was a bit of a shock.
Yeah,
not really. He didn't play.
Oh, he wasn't.
You would have thought maybe like needing that little bit of extra depth, stepping up and that. You would have thought maybe a few of these would have been retained.
Yeah, that's what I thought for the bench.
Hasn't Smith gone Cambridge now?
Yes, he has. Yes, he signed. Yeah, he signed for Cambridge. Yeah,
it's a good sign.
Derby released him, and he signed for Cambridge now. Yeah,
good signing for them.
Yeah. And obviously, you are being linked with a couple of players anyway. So we'll move on to your.
There is a new addition as well that's gone out recently. Tyrese Forney, ex-Forest player. He's gone to Salford.
Yeah, he was out on loan as well last season, wasn't he?
No, he was out injured.
He was out injured, was he?
Yeah, he was out injured, and then I think he come back towards the end.
Yeah,
but I don't think he wants to be there, to be honest. If I'm honest, I don't think he does.
Let's go through your ins because you're a couple of there's a couple of notable names in there as well that some people might be relatively familiar with.
Yeah,
a few that they won't be.
There is one of them.
Yeah,
and it's hard to pronounce, so I've got to be careful what I say.
Goodminge.
Yeah,
Goodminge.
Yeah, so his name's Kenza Goodminge, and he's from AZ Alkmaar, and he is a very good signing. Played today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What is he? Midfielder, forward?
Midfielder. Centre midfielder, yeah.
Centre mid.
Yeah, Dutch.
But he can push sort of towards that attacking area.
Yeah,
can play like Cam, crosses and headers and all that.
And then you got
very versatile, very good dribbler
as well that you bought in from Sheffield United on a free.
Yeah, good signing.
Jackson, obviously, as well.
Yeah, amazing signing.
Yes, another good signing. Jerry Yates, who from Swansea. I'm not overly familiar with Jerry Yates. I didn't really see him much. But
it wasn't. I wasn't very impressed with the friendlies. To be fair, I didn't really do much. I think he's more going to be bencher. I think
backup.
Yeah, as backup.
Like and then you got a player on loan, obviously from Crystal Palace as well.
He had a very good game today.
Did he?
Very good game today. Yeah,
he was fantastic on the ball.
I presume he's a youngster.
It's his first professional game the other day.
Yeah, his first professional game against Blackburn.
That's good. Ebu Adams, obviously, who he was there on loan last season, wasn't he? So
got us promoted. Yeah. Love him. And Derby fans wanted him back. Were asking.
So that's a very
Klaus,
good sign.
Yeah,
and didn't he get goal of this season for League One?
I think so. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I didn't see them.
Because of that strike against Leyton Orient, if I'm not wrong.
It might have been, yes, that's correct, yeah.
And
but he's, like I say, he's a very good player
as well.
Yes.
So to replace the goalkeeper, you were Slayton, who had a worldie today.
Yeah, but they have said that he is going to be number one. He is going to be number one. Jacob Vendel Zetterstrom.
Jacob Waddell Zetterstrom, yeah.
Yeah. So, and apparently he's a Swedish national as well.
Yeah, just over
the highlights I've seen of him.
1.4 million euros, do you reckon?
Yeah, the highlights of him I've seen are absolutely brilliant. He can always get to that ball, like diving wise, and just
and
he's
from
always
what I understand as well, he's one of these goalkeepers that can play out from the back as well. Good with his feet.
Yeah.
And he's tall, 6'6", beast.
Yeah, get past that.
I bet he's got hands like shovels.
And I know you were mentioning to me earlier as well that there are a couple of other players that you're being linked with and all.
Yeah, they're after a defender and another striker, I think one is. If you're anyone that is watching or listening to the pod, if you ever want news for Derby County, search on Google News Now Derby County and you get every single rumour all the transfer stories, anything all on there. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's where I got that from. And one is after 20, he has admitted it in interviews that he's after a defender and a striker. And
Well,
maybe even more defend his wife now because Cashin's injured. So we don't know how long for.
Yeah.
One player that we were linked with is Dembele. He's gone to QPR now, which I wasn't expecting him to join, but it was just QPR got there a tad bit quicker.
And that's for anyone that doesn't, you might recognise the name, but obviously it's not the French Dembele. It's the young Dembele who a few seasons ago was a breakthrough player at Celtic. He broke into like the first team at like the age of like 15, 16. Everyone thought that this kid was going to be like one of
the next Mbappe, didn't he?
The next big thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it didn't quite work out for that, but he seems to be on his way back. And you never know. I mean, if it doesn't really work out for him at QPR, there could be potential maybe down in the future of getting him in. But yeah, definitely. I think you're definitely in for a young, pacey striker who could potentially maybe play wings as well. I think that would probably suit you.
Thing is, I don't know who though, because there's not really.
No, I think maybe a loan. To be honest, maybe again to go down the route.
I think he will loan.
Yeah.
Right at the start of August, we were linked with Josh Murphy. Obviously, he's gone to Portsmouth now, but I don't think he was really interested in joining the club. He didn't really say anything about it, But it was a potential striker.
Maybe like youngsters out of the likes of like a Southampton or an Aston Villa or someone who's not getting game time. I mean, obviously one of their young strikers of Archer. I think he went today for about 15 odd million.
Southampton won it. It's weird that one. That transfer was weird because he was at Norwich. Was it Norwich?
Yeah. No, Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, and then Villa signed him back cheap. Yeah, then Villa signed him back cheap for 13 odd million, and now he's gone back out again.
Yeah,
it's weird. Strange this FFP stuff's weird.
I can't. I mean, my club obviously, it's crazy. Chelsea's crazy at the moment, just signing anything that moves. But that'll come for another podcast. I'm going to have a chat with a few of my Chelsea friends, perhaps Dylan, and we'll perhaps get Dylan back on to talk all things Chelsea.
I have a question for you boys then. Right, for Derby.
Yeah,
where do you reckon we're going to finish? I know it's early on, but we always do this at the beginning.
I think top half of the table. I think possibly somewhere between 12th and 8th.
Yeah.
And if you can maintain that throughout the season and then hit a bit of form towards the end, and there's always a chance. There's always one team that comes from that mid-pack in there and has a good run, ends up in the playoffs, and more often than not, that team then ends up going through the promotion, through the playoffs. It happens.
Imagine doing that.
A few years ago, it was the likes of before when they first got in the Premier League, it was like the teams like Bournemouth. And I think Bournemouth did a back-to-back. I'm pretty sure Bournemouth, the first time they got promoted to the Premier League, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they started League One Championship. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So there is always a team. There's always one or two surprise teams. There you go. Willie's predicting 12th in the chat there as well.
So you're predicting 12th. So where they are now, they're currently sat at 12th now.
There we go.
I'm predicting. I'm predicting. So I'm just saying 12. I'm predicting.
Yeah, I think 12th to high. I think I would say 12th minimum for me.
So about mid-table.
I think the football's good enough that they will. I think they will be in that top half or above. I think it'll take them a few games to find the footing. And then I think that they'll then, once they're comfortable and they find that, couple of signings in, get some points in the bag up to January, transfer window opens in January, maybe bring in one or two other little players for covering injuries, etc. And then I think they'll be there or thereabouts.
So what do you think, Kieran? Where do you think they're going to?
Based on what I'm seeing at the moment, we had a bad game at the start of the season, then we can go and beat Middlesbrough, which it's all right, but it's just the off games when the players don't really go there like as if they want to win, and then
that'll be where the consistency comes in.
That will, the fatigue.
So I'm gonna predict either 14th or 11th. That's where I think.
So in mid-table. So we're all saying mid-table, pretty much. Then
we'll have all right
pretty much
start,
which is that's fine.
And then we'll end up getting a couple of losses, some bigger losses, and then going back in the next day winning a big 3-2-0.
And you know, I'm not looking forward to playing Burnley. They're absolutely on fire at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, who took over as manager at Burnley? I can't remember now. Who took over from Company?
Not a clue, but I know the 5-0. 5-0 again today.
I mean, to be fair, they probably kept most of their squad together from what came down because they didn't really go mad on transfers when they got promoted. Probably with the idea that they knew that it would be very tough to stay in the Premier League and they'd go back down.
That explains it.
Yeah, so they probably retained Scotty Parker.
Yeah, that explains why.
Do you know what? That completely bypassed me. I didn't really look. I didn't check.
Yeah, Scott Parker.
Bristol City were playing soon. They beat Millwall 4-3.
So I believe that's the game you're going to, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. We're going to that on the Saturday. Not Saturday coming up, the following month.
And I'm sort of worried because they've sort of made a comeback because we were 3-2 down and then they've gone and won with 2 last-minute goals, one in the 78th minute and one in the 88th to win it. And that's going to be a threat to us.
Yeah.
Because if they can do that against Millwall, they're going to do it against us.
And Kieran, do you know what's concerning me? Do you know what's concerning me there, mate? Yeah, do you know what's concerning me there? We've got 2 games prior to that. We've got a cup game midweek against Barrow.
I wouldn't be too surprised if he actually shuffled the pack for that cup game. I think he will. I think he will prioritise the league. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he shuffles the pack and rests a few for that. I know that's crazy to say and sound that you're looking at resting people this early in the season, but you have got to think long term, league safety, consolidating in back in the Championship and that because you've got to stay in the Championship.
Oh yeah,
it has to be a season.
I wouldn't surprise if bring some youngsters in for the Barrow game.
Yeah. Well, there we go. The dog agrees as well.
Dog agrees. Do you agree, Lex? Yeah, Lexi agrees.
Lexi agrees. Now, this is not the first time that Lexi has appeared on the pod. She appeared before, way back in season 1.
Yeah, and do you know why she does it? Because she can hear your voice.
Yeah.
She loves you and she hears your voice. And she will look outside later on and see where you are.
I'm just going to add...
Yeah, has anyone in the chat got any questions, by the way? If anyone has any questions, please...
Kieran's going to add something. Go on, mate.
Go on then, Kieran.
About the Bristol game again, I'm going to start going on about them, but we've got a couple of threats within Max Bird and Jason Knight, 2 former players, which are obviously they're not going to have the best game because it's obviously the youth academy club and they're not going to really perform at the best. They've got Hayden Roberts, which obviously used to play for us on loan from Brighton.
Yeah, good player.
I don't know, Kieran, because Max Bird's got an assist today.
But it is his former club.
But yeah.
Right, we have a question. There we go. We've got a question for you both from Willie. I should pop that up on the screen so everyone can see.
If you could change one thing about the club right now, what would it be? At the beginning of the season, I was saying worn out by January. That's what I was saying. But he's doing all right.
Periods, even in the promotion season, that you and a lot of Derby fans weren't particularly keen on him and weren't particularly keen on the style of football.
Do you know what? Yeah, probably the style of football I'd change. But at the moment, we're okay. I think you don't need to change anything at the moment. We've got the backing of the club, like the chairman, so we don't really need anything else.
And Kieran,
I don't know, to be fair.
What would you, if there's anything about the club, what would you change?
Defence, mainly. I know it seems wrong of how we played today, but we've got Cashin, which is a good player. I wouldn't change him. But Nelson, he's getting on a bit, and I don't think he'd always be at his best. So we need some young player who's had experience to go and take his spot and perform. We need Ben Osborne, he's all right, but he plays more midfield and left back, so I'm not sure. But we need 2 fullbacks.
So if your owner was watching this now, one of your youngest fans here wants you to go out and sign a couple of young, exciting defensive players who can maybe play a bit of centre back and maybe a bit of fullback.
Do you know what I'd like to see, Kieran?
Agents.
You might recognise this name, Harry Suter. Do you know what I'd like to see at Derby? On loan from Leicester.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, he's played for Stoke at centre back. Big tall defender. He's good in the air, strong. Yeah. Versatile, so we need good from the back as well.
For our goalkeeper role, I thought we'd have Daniel Everson from
Leicester. Yeah, he was linked. He was rumoured. Yeah. So you change the defence. I'd probably, at the minute, the way we are, I'd change nothing. Probably disagree halfway through the season. So that can have that question again halfway through the season.
Yeah, we'll come back on it. And
We will write that one down, Willie. Thank you very much for that question, by the way. We will write that one down, and we can re-answer that one mid-season.
So let's bring up your your next few fixtures, and then we'll get a bit of a prediction from you both on the next few fixtures.
Yeah, we've got Watford next game. Yeah, we've got Watford next game.
Yeah, that's
away, so that could be a tough one.
So that's a tough one. So let's get a prediction for Watford away from you both.
Yeah. I'm going to say 1-0 loss.
A 1-0 loss.
Because Watford are quite a tough team.
And yourself, Kieran?
I'm going to say, based on the recent results, I'm going to say a 2-1 loss. Because we've got that Caden. We've got Caden Jackson going up front. He's going to be at his best constantly because he's experienced like that in Ipswich, and obviously he's got that
old, keeping him up.
Sorry, I'm getting old. Sorry.
Right, I'll start with Kieran on this one, and let's have a prediction for the Bristol game, the home game.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What about the Barrow game beforehand? Go on, the cup.
That's a cup game, but we'll go with the league games for now.
Go on then. And we are going to this one, remember? So it's got to be good.
Yeah, that's got to be good. Yeah, you don't want to be at home.
I'm saying 2-2.
2-2 draw. I say 1-1.
I actually think you're going to win. I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1. And it's obviously it's a back-to-back homes as well. So you've got Cardiff then at home on the 14th of September.
I think we'll win that one. I think we'll win that one. 1-0.
I think that, ironically, I actually think that'll probably be a tougher game than the Bristol game.
I'm also going to add that keeper that we signed today. He's going to have a.
I would expect him to probably play in the cup match.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes,
He's going to play him in the cup match, but I've just seen it's after the Watford game.
Yeah, and then we'll get two more predictions for you. We won't go too far into the season, but yeah, we'll get you predictions on the Sheffield United away.
Thrashed. About 3-0 loss there.
You said that today about the Bristol.
I said that about, I did say
5-1.
5-1
Yeah, to them.
Well, to them.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, we're away, aren't we? And we're not great away.
But you did defend well today, so you know.
Yeah, true, there is that. But it's if we've got defenders.
But we had the fans behind us. That's the problem.
And then the final one we'll get a prediction on is you're at home to Norwich.
12:30 kickoff as well, that one.
Yeah.
I'm saying that one. I think 3-1 win.
1-0 win to us again.
I think Norwich has still got a pretty good team.
Strong side.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but I think that'll be a very high paced game. As Norwich tend to play.
You have just let a striker go though, haven't they? To Celtic, is it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I'm saying 3-1. That's mine.
3-1 win.
Go on, Kieran. What do you think?
What are you thinking, Kieran?
1-0.
1-0. What, Derby or Norwich?
Derby.
Get a goal on the counter, sit back and defend it just like you did today.
I reckon it'd be a last minute goal, and then we'll go all defensive.
Again, like I did today.
Yeah. No, we weren't really a last minute goal
I think that's what he'll do against big sides. I think that's what he'll do. He'll do like he did today.
Yeah, try and keep it compact.
Deadly teams. He'll just try and keep it compact. I think.
Get in front and then switch it back to a back five and try and defend it out.
And what I must say today, though, 29,000 again there.
Well, a lot of people probably don't realise this. I think if my facts are correct still, I can't think of any other stadiums that have opened in recent time. I still think Pride Park, I think it's the 16th biggest stadium in the country.
Yeah, holds 33.5.
Yeah. And obviously I've experienced it myself, fully rocking with a 30,000 crowd. And I can tell you, it's a good noise. It's a great atmosphere. If you are relatively local to the Derby area, anyone that's watching this or watches it back, I cannot recommend getting a ticket and going. It's a real great family atmosphere at the club. They have a great pre-show with the songs that are going, the historical songs, the lighting inside the stadium, flashing as the players are all getting ready, etc. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great family club. It's very easy to get to in terms of the stadium location. It's in a big, massive retail park, so you can get there early. You can, have some family time and have some food and, a bit of Tim Hortons on the go.
Yeah, you've got Tim Hortons, you've got the shops
got
around there, you've got
everything.
retail shops
Yeah,
around there.
yeah,
You've
got
got
everything. I mean, it's such a great location for a stadium. And it's not like one of these stadiums that are so far out of town. It feels detached. You can literally, you can jump on a bus into town, have a bit of food or whatever, even in town, and you're still only a 10-minute walk up, up the road to the stadium. It's brilliant. I love it.
Even if anyone is out, like, doesn't live in Derby and wants to visit and come and watch one, the train station's not far from there. All you got to do is walk under the big bridge,
walk down
and you're at Pride Park.
And of course, anyone that wants to go along with Adam and Kieran, you can always get in touch with the show. You can comment on this video, etc., and I can put you in contact with them. And if you fancy going along with them to a game and stuff like that, I'm sure they're more than happy to show you around the ground and stuff like that. And
and there's Derby Arena there as well outside. Like the old bicycle tracks, whatever they call them now.
Velodrome.
That's it. Velodrome. There's that as well.
There we go.
Bicycle track. Sorry.
The bicycle track.
That's gonna.
All I'm going to say is you've got to.
I mean, it is a track, and bikes do go around it. So,
yes.
Well, there we go. That is the first episode of season 5. We are back, and it's been an absolute pleasure to have the pair of you on the show. And we have to get you back on, and Kieran back on as well.
Definitely.
After, we'll give it another couple of months of games, so we can see where the team is, how things are shaping up, and then we'll come back and look at it.
Definitely. Yes, definitely.
This is obviously the first time. This is it. This is the first time we're using StreamYard as well. So I'm hoping this gives everyone a bit more of a friendly feeling, the way we're doing it, with in that way you can see everyone's on the thing. You've got the social links going across the bottom there. That shows you how to get to every aspect of how you connect with the show. Links are always in the video description and bios and that anyway. You can as well do it the old-fashioned way. You can email the show. I know that's almost a forgotten concept now, a bit like sending a letter. And you can email the show on talkfootballpdc@gmail.com. And like I say, if anyone that's watching this or gets a chance to watch it back or sees any of the clips that we're going to take from this and stuff that's going to go out on social media, be that on Kieran's page, be that on the Talk Football pages, etc., and you fancy getting in contact and fancy coming on as a guest, more than welcome. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world, what club you support. All we ask is that you just come on and be passionate about your club and talk about football. That's it.
Yeah.
Cheers, Willie. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, Willie, I popped that up on the screen. Much, really appreciate the support, and thank you for all your questions. And let's hope it's
and less of the laughing faces and all.
Yeah, no laughing faces at the end of the relegation.
So I won't be laughing. I'll be crying.
It should be
into my pillow.
Yeah. So it's great to be back on the pod, and thank you to anyone that gets in contact, anyone that watches this back, and everyone that shows support for the pod. And I just want to add before we finish up, because I'm off to Turkey on the 27th, and then when we get back, we are doing the Talk Football charity walk, which is called from Stamford Bridge to Wembley. So obviously we're going to start at Stamford Bridge. We're going to make our way down to Fulham Football Club, then out to QPR, then Brentford, and then the long stretch up to Wembley itself, which is going to be taking place on the 8th of September. It's a 10 a.m. start at Stamford Bridge. So we'll all meet at 10 a.m. at Stamford Bridge, and then we'll probably leave there about 10:30, 11:15. Now, you don't have to. You want to participate in this. We've already got quite a few people that are going to be walking, and it is just a walk, and we might take a few cheeky pints in on the way as well. You don't have to do nothing. So there's one central fundraising page, and all I ask is that people share that page. And if you fancy donating, if you can't be involved in the walk yourself, very kindly, Adam has donated to the page already. It all goes straight through Just Giving. So I don't touch any of the money. This doesn't benefit anyone other than the charity that we're doing it for, which is Children with Cancer UK, which you really can't get a better charity than that, and then trying to help kids with cancer, in my opinion. So
the link is in there in the chat. I've just put it in for you. So that's the donation link. If you do want interest in the walk itself, I can pop the link on as well for the walk, so you put your interest in over on Facebook with Hodge, so he knows.
That hasn't come up in the chat.
No, I'm going to pop that up now, guys. I'm just popping that up now. Just bear with me. I am.
But also, you can get to the link for the fundraising. You can get to that through the link tree as well, and that takes you direct there. Anything that people can spare, even if it's £1. I mean, everything helps these kids. And if you, like I say, if you want to join in and do the walk, then it really is as simple as turning up on the day with your favourite football shirt on and a pair of comfortable shoes. It's it's only going to be 15 miles. Should take roughly anywhere between sort of like 4.5 to 5.5 hours because we're going to be going at a nice, easy, steady pace so everyone's comfortable doing it. And yeah, again, like I say, it's for a great cause. And we look forward to it. And I'm hopefully going to bring back a few shirts, high quality shirts from Turkey as well. From I've got a little list of shirts that I want to look for and pick up. And we all know how good Turkey is for shopping. So
turkey teeth.
Well, I might even come back with some new teeth. You never know. Strange things will happen. I might even come back with hair. I mean, what a shock would that be?
Transplant.
A wig.
Come back with a massive like mohawk or something. You know what I mean? That would be
big
very,
afro
very
wig.
That's it. Right, brilliant. There we go, boys. Thank you very much for joining me, Adam.
Cheers,
and Kieran. Like I say, pleasure having you here,
yeah.
and welcome on the show anytime. You know that, and hopefully I'll be up in Derby either the week before Christmas or when my early winter holiday is, which will be somewhere around between sort of like January, February or something like that. And then I'll be up in Derby then. Hopefully it'll be at a time when Derby are playing at home and we'll be able to go to a home game. And obviously we'll get loads of filming and clips and interviews with people.
I'm coming.
And of course, Kieran will be there as well. So
hopefully.
And I will try and get some when I go to Mickleover again. We are going end of August again, 26th.
No, it's 27th.
It's 27th, then one of it. It's 26th, 27th, one of them. We'll go and I'll try and get some videos and that for the Talk Football TikTok.
There we go.
No, it's 27th.
To see what a little tiny non-league football team looks like that is owned by Don Amott, which is a very good gentleman that owns Leisure Centre stuff. Yeah.
There we go.
And hopefully see them in the big leagues at some point.
Hopefully at some point, yeah.
Right, there we go. That's the end of episode 1, season 5. It's great to be back. Like I say, anyone who wants to be involved in the show, get in contact. And if you're here, don't forget to pop your little thing on that little bell there and subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it means a massive amount to us as a show. So there we go. And that we aim to get to 100 subs across this season. So hopefully we'll get there.
Yes.
Anyway.
See you later, guys.
Thank you very much. See you on the next episode.